Didn't your mother ever say, when you meet the right one, you'll know? You don't understand that until it happens, and all of a sudden it's like, this is a person I want to spend. I think at that point I was thinking more a long time with, the rest of my life. It just, I don't know, it just was obvious all of a sudden.
Same.
You can tell who's the staid, quiet
I don't
Vermonter.
talk much.
She's the Vermonter.
I know what I can show you all, if it's at all interesting. Where's our 50-year book, Bob? This was our honeymoon. I'm drinking a Coco Loco, and this is a pineapple surprise. And here we are.
Oh, boy. This is the sweetest lady I've ever met in my life. I don't think she's hardly ever said a bad thing about anyone.
My first husband and I came up here, and I met him at Middlebury, and he died, and then I was a widow for 10 years, which I've decided was probably very good for me because I had never really lived by myself. And I think I grew up as a person during those years, and I was not planning to remarry. How long after we met did we get married?
Year and a half.
He came and lived with me in my house, and I thought that was really pretty cool for an older person. They called me a cougar, and I am a cougar because I'm 90 and he's 70. So I'm 90 and he is 81. And I met him when I was 70 years old. So we've been married almost 20 years.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah.
My husband gave me that, and that's a nice one here.
Very nice.
Yeah. And this is a simple one. When you suddenly become a widow, people just treat you differently a little bit. Although in a place like this, it's better than many places. I mean, it'll suddenly catch you. I mean, you never really get over missing somebody. That just comes part of you, but that's okay. You just learn to live with it, that's all. He sat in this big chair and watched TV, and he liked to do that. And he also liked to read a lot. He loved mystery stories. That was his distraction. A good marriage doesn't just happen. You have to work at it. And that's, I think, people think, oh, well, let's get married and live happily ever after. It's not, doesn't work that way.
What do I like the most? Oh, it's just her company. We are each sitting in our own chair, reading our own books or whatever, and it's a very pleasant feeling.
The daughter up here, Kimberly, that's her husband Wade, and their children.
You have to be your best friend as well.
Oh, I think that's good.
I mean, it's not physical love or anything like that necessarily. You've got to be your best friend, and you've got to be able to share and do the things that you like together.
Reggie, what about the one in my bedroom that's a picture of us when we were in Hawaii? We always have a fellowship hour after church, and so we talk to the new people that are there, and he hadn't been to church all the years before that. And I said, well, what are you interested in? He said, do you really want to know?
I says, if you want to know the truth, you want me to lie about it. She said, I want to know the truth. I said, okay, I like dirt car racing, Golden Gloves boxing, and motorcycles.
And that, I said, oh, nothing I'm interested in. But he's interested in everything. And he's very smart, and one of the best things about him is he's got a marvelous memory, which I don't have. And so that's one of the things that I think is a real plus in our marriage.
We were very much partners, too, and he always just sort of took me for who I was. He was a very comfortable person to be around. He was the first person of the opposite sex I felt totally comfortable with. I could just be myself with him. Just there's that sort of level of, that doesn't matter, sort of, you can be crazy or something and it's okay, you know. Sort of, but yeah, and you have to do it to sort of survive a lot of stuff. I mean, no, it's sort of absurd to think that you can be all sweetness and light forever and ever and ever, amen, you know. It takes working.
So what kept us together? Stubbornness.
Love.
It never occurred to us to split up,
No.
I guess. You know, that's, no matter what people said, it was our life.
And we wanted to be together. I don't know if I've ever said this to Lois, but I think she's made me a better person because she's forced me to push my boundaries sometime and try things that I'm not sure I would have tried. I might have been perfectly happy sitting reading a book, and she's pushed me out of the chair and try things.
If she says, I'm going to the grocery store, I say,
No, I'll go along. I'll ride in the car. Okay, that's fine.
maybe too much now.
Well, you don't go with me to the hairdresser.
No, I don't go to the hairdresser.
Yeah.
You went to the barber shop with me the last time
Well,
to supervise.
that's because I did one the time before the woman cut it, so you almost didn't have any hair left.
I don't have much anyway.
She was talking the whole time, and you couldn't get a word in edgeways.
Oh, she did. She's-
So I went and said,
No, I
"You
think
know,
we've
like this
adjusted
hair
pretty
long."
well to the different stages. It is difficult as you go through, and it's difficult when you retire because your image of yourself changes.
Sometimes you're very sure about something. And it's something that I don't agree with, but because I'm forgetful now, I think, well, he could be right, but boy, when I find out that I was right and he wasn't, that is a great thing for me.
Yeah.
That helps me. Yeah,
She really relishes on that.
I do. And there aren't many of them, but once in a while he's wrong. Yeah, I guess that's it. He's very easy to live with. I couldn't imagine anybody easier to live with. So,
All his life, really, my husband, his name was George Lane, really was interested in diplomacy, and even to his last day. And fortunately, I mean, he liked to watch the news and always read and kept up with things. And he was that way. He was not able to move as well as he could. He had lung cancer, but he was still himself up to the very end, which is wonderful. Nice way to be. It's always nice to be a couple, and you'll find people find each other again even in their 80s because they want company again at the end of life. So that does happen quite often.
She was my first. And I guess, well, we'll see if she's my last. Well, if I outlive you, you never know.
What can I say?
She's the love of my life, and I've only been married one time, and when I asked her to marry me and she said yes, I said, you better be sure, because I'm only going to get married one time. It's going to work. And it has.
Yeah.
So,
Now we're here together. I think most people think you two need to be a little bit more independent. We've grown, if anything, closer together, which is good and bad, because we won't end this life exactly at the same time. I don't think it's ever going to work that way.
There's a lot of luck in that, meeting the right person at the right time. You know, when you're both thinking about, making this a more permanent relationship or whatever. It's a lot about timing too. Some people, you're not quite ready to settle down. Some people never are.
Tokens of wisdom.
Well, never go to bed angry with each other.
Say thank you, please.
And you're never too old to do little things for each other.
I like that one. That's pretty good after 60 years, so grabbing our hand.
Yeah, I know, honey.